Well, hello, General Hospital Daily Recap fans. Today's daily recap is for Wednesday, uh, September the 4th, 2024. Wednesday, September the 4th. Well, today was not a lot of action going on. We have, um, okay, let's go to Lucky. Lucky is playing poker for his life. You know, he beat the guy, beat the pants off the person in charge. So the guy, it got up under his skin so much he had Lucky hauled out of his cell in the middle of the night to come play at a real poker table. And Lucky kept winning, and he goes, I know how to spot a cheater. And if you are cheating, I cannot tell. And Lucky said, because I'm that good, right? And so the guy says, you know what? He goes, Lucky says, why don't we raise the stakes? And he says, why don't if I win, I go free? And the guy says, no, we're not changing the stakes. You win, you stay alive. I win, you die. It's just that simple. So Lucky says, well, listen, sooner or later, I'm going to lose. The odds are not going to always be in my favor. It's just not going to be, no matter how good I am. And so the guy says, well, until that happens, you'll stay alive, right? So you hear this English voice. And because the guy was saying, I have insomnia, there's this woman. He met in Monte Carlo. Soon as he said Monte Carlo, I said, Holly, that's her stomping grounds, remember? And he goes, she's beautiful. She's smart. She could play some poker. she just so Holly just walks in to the room, with her little sexy voice, and it sounded sexy in English this time. I mean, she sounded good. And when the camera showed her, I said, well, look, doggone. She is looking good this time around, right? Oh my goodness. Emma Sands don't look a day over 50. Man. So oh, speaking of off topic, y'all, I saw the article interview on her. She suffers from long COVID um symptoms. I mean, COVID did a number on her. She now has scarring on her heart. She has all kinds of things. And when she first came back, as Holly, remember we were saying, she was not doing well, acting well or nothing, right? Well, she had to stay seated a lot because she didn't have a lot of strength. She was just still coming up off of COVID at that time. She was trying to recover from the horrible stint of COVID. And it's been years now. And she says she still has treatments, and the doctors are baffled. I mean, but she's doing better than she was 2 years ago, 3 years ago when she was on General Hospital. So you know, we should see it this time around. But she's been on, this will be her third time back. So she was better the last time she came, and now this time she's even better. So I can already tell right now, Holly, when she walked in and she walked over to her guy that she's her mark, because let's face it, she's a con, she's a swindler. And she looked across the table and she saw it was Lucky. She didn't know Lucky was in there. Her eyes went like, what are you doing here? And Lucky is looking like, I don't know her. He's not blowing her cover or blowing his cover. He's just looking straight face, just looking up at her, right? She's going to be instrumental in helping him escape. Because for one thing, y'all, we know Laura and Kevin are not going to waltz up in there. They're just not going to be able to. But Holly will be able to. If she runs into Laura and Kevin, she'll be able to get them in. But I think she's going to be instrumental and helping Lucky escape. Isn't it interesting? Whenever Luke's sons are in trouble, either it's Tracy to the rescue or it's Holly to the rescue. That is so interesting to me. So we'll see how this is going to unfold. What storyline are they going to tell? Now, we have Miss Alexis, who can't think straight if her life depended on it. See, we wonder where does Christina get this from too, right? Now, she wanted to get rid of this gun because she thinks she don't know what Christina could have done with it. She don't know where Christina went with this gun. She doesn't know any of that. Her instinct is I'm taking this gun and I got it. For one, she was trying to reach Diane for Diane to give her some advice. Well, now Alexis just got her law license back. Oh my God. But Diane was busy with Ava and Jason at the PCPD. So Alexis decides she's going to throw the gun. Now, mind you, do you see in the picture I have there? Alexis has the gun in her hand like she ready to shoot some fish, okay? She got that gun cocked there in her hand. Fingerprints all over the gun. There we go. You, Alexis, you go, girl. So she finally decides, I'm throwing this gun off the bridge. Well, coincidental. Now, mind you, the storm just stopped not even an hour ago. Rick and Elizabeth are eating their ice cream walking to this footbridge. Now, this footbridge is on the outskirts of town. Where the heck did they get that ice cream from that time of night? That it made it to the footbridge. Come on now. That ice cream would have been melted 10 minutes out of town. So Alexis throws it, but guess what? Then when she's getting ready to walk off the bridge, because for one, she did look each way before she decided to run and throw it, but somehow Rick and Elizabeth poof magically appeared. They saw it. And they're like, Rick is like, well, what'd you throw over? Into the water, Alexis. She goes, my cell phone. He said, your cell phone? She goes, yeah, this thing is just hasn't been working right. It just, so I, in a fit of anger, threw it overboard. Now I realize I shouldn't have, but I'll get another. And so she goes, you two have a good evening. Your ice cream's melting. She walks off. Elizabeth looks at Rick. Rick looks at Elizabeth. He says, I think we saw something we wasn't supposed to see. And she says, I know. She says, and that did not look like a cell phone. He says, no, that was a gun. He says, now, I know Alexis. She's trying to protect someone she loves. Is one of her daughters. He goes, I just hope to God it ain't mine. That she's trying to protect, because that means Molly in trouble, right? So Rick says, we weren't supposed to see it. And Elizabeth said, yeah, but we did. And what are we going to do about it? Rick is probably going to say nothing. Look, we need to stay out of this. Neither one of them know that FBI agent Cates has been shot. Because, see, they're naturally going to think that Alexis was throwing away the murder weapon. Okay? Now, Elizabeth, out of everybody, should know, mind your business. Mind yours. Because you've done a whole lot of stuff that could be misinterpreted, misunderstood, misconstrued, misplaced. Okay? So, anyway, they saw Alexis. And I was thinking, everybody, where does Alexis live? Alexis lives on the outskirts of town. There's a lake not too far from her house. Not where she at now. Well, she says, I decided to go for a walk. So this footbridge could be kind of close, but really, in essence, it's not close to Alexis's house. Alexis lives almost like in a foresty area surrounded by huge trees and everything else. She doesn't live in the city, right? So my thing is, Alexis, you didn't even have to leave your property or leave your area. There's too many, you're surrounded by trees and woods, woodsy area. Yeah, not forest, woodsy area. You could have buried that gun outside off your property after you wipe the fingerprints off of it. Before I take it for a ride, walk on the bridge, point it around before I throw it, I'm burying it in the backyard, so to speak, right? So to speak. Nobody would know what tree to look for out yonder. So I'm like shaking my head. Christina wakes up. She's looking for her gun now because it hurt. It's hers. She can't find it. She's panicking. She doesn't know if she dropped it. She don't know where she could have dropped it. She calls Michael. Now Willow, we think, was going to tell Michael. We think she was. But Christina calls in this tizzy. I need you now. Come over now. So he tells Willow, I'm sorry, it's Christina, because she called. And he goes, no, Willow, you're more important. What did you want to tell me? And then Christina calls right back. He goes, oh my God, it's Christina again. She goes, wait, Christina was the one that called the first time? And he says, yeah. She says, answer the phone, answer her. This might be important. So he does. He goes over there and she tells him, I'm missing a gun. And he's like, Christina, where'd you get a gun from? She tells him, one of Dad's guns. So I went over and took it. He says, why would you need a gun, Christina? She point blank, because I was going to handle Agent Cates, was going to go after Agent Cates, and I'm going to make Ava pay. And Michael says, well, Christina, Agent Cates is dead. He was shot dead on the Quartermain estate. Wait, what? She goes, do you know who did it? And he's like, no, I don't know who did it. And she goes, well, I didn't do it. I didn't even get to make it over there. I went to the cemetery to speak to Adela, and then I went home. I didn't shoot him. And he goes, I believe you, Christina. Well, of course he believes. He knows Sonny shot him. She goes, but now his gun is missing. I need it. And he goes, well, maybe Alexis took it, but she's not here for me to ask, whatever. When Alexis finally does come home, watch. Well, Christina's going to ask her about the gun. Let's see. And Ava should say, I took it and threw it off the bridge. What did you do with that gun? She's going to find out Kate's is dead. But Alexis is going to immediately assume Christina did it. Immediately, she's going to assume that. Until, I don't know, who's going to tell her Christina didn't? Because nobody knows Christina's whereabouts are unknown. She's the only one that don't have an alibi. Sonny has one. Him and Carly's like, I don't like the fact that you pulled me into this, Sonny, and you made everybody think we slept together. And he goes, well, I mean, that's a good alibi. She goes, now you tell me what happened. What happened to Agent Cates? And Sonny says, I can't tell you, Carly. She says, why not? You got me wrapped into this. He said, because we're not married. And because we're not married, you could be compelled to testify. You could be made or forced to testify against me. He goes, do you want to get married again? She says, no, I don't want to get married again. She says, fine, don't tell me because, we're not getting married again. And so he goes, well, so let's get our story straight because the police are going to be here tomorrow. So she says, okay. He goes, We saw each other. Old feelings came up. We got heated. And, it happened. She goes, for one thing, nobody's going to buy that. Not that it happened that way. And he goes, you got something better? So she goes, let me think. Okay. I brought Donna over. No, no, no. Yeah, we saw each other earlier because Sunny was at her house. We saw each other earlier. You brought Avery over, or you came to see the girls, and we were talking, and we had a nice conversation. And then at the Quartermains, we started talking again. We went outside to talk for some privacy, but then you got drenched we got wet in the rain. So I brought you in so you could dry you off a bit. And one thing led to another. And she goes, and we were kissing, and the feelings were nice. And he goes, and then we slept together because she was going to leave it like they made out, right? We just really made out. But he's like, oh, and then we slept together. So he looks at her, he goes, I like your version much better. We'll go with that. So she's shaking her head. She goes, Sonny, I cannot believe you have me involved in this murder investigation. He said, Carly, Kate's needed to be dealt with. You know he was rogue. So she goes, well, look, I got to go. I need to get home. And so he goes, actually, you should stay. You need to spend the night with me. And she goes, now, why is it that makes perfect sense to me? And she just shook her head. She says, but I'm staying in the guest room. She says, now, which room was Ava in? He said, the big one. She goes, then I'll take the small guest room. And so she just walked in the back. And what they're going to do is watch. She going to be in his shirt when the police come. She going to come walking from the back, which is going to further perpetuate them being back to Carly. Like I said, Carly's ride or die chick. Okay. Your story ain't good enough. I'm giving you a better one. Right. I'm telling you the chemistry between Stephen A. and the actress that plays Jordan, Rick and Jordan, man. When after he kissed her on her cheek, because she wants him to find out who the John Doe is. And he's like, you don't have resources. She goes, not like yours. So she wanted to know a little bit about his past. And he said, he told her just some tidbits about himself. And she owes him a date now. He goes, well, look, I better get busy on your assignment because it's going to take me a minute to find out a man with no name and no ID. Right. And so the way, look in the picture, he got his hand around her back waist and he's pulling her in as he's kissing her softly on her ear. And she's got that little, she sat down in that seat and Jordan was squirming a little. I said, go girl, look at you. He got you going. I really like them. I love those two together, but he's just a day player on General Hospital. He loves his career. He has one, famous. He loves it. He ain't giving it up for soap opera acting. He just loves to do this from time to time. And I love watching him. So, you know what? Anytime we can have you, Stephen A., we love you. At least I do. Man, I do. So what I fast forwarded of, a lot, Drew talking to Curtis. Curtis telling the man, you better end this. Stop. Don't even let this thing go any further because this is a disaster. Right? And Drew made Curtis think it was one time, that one kiss this evening. But he's saying, no, I have true feelings for Willow. And I have to admit, it does feel good the way she looks at me. He goes, "You saved her life, Drew. She's got a little bit of that, like that hero worship thing going on." And he goes, "And I have to admit, I like it." Oh. And I'm developing feelings for Willow. This is what Drew says. I'm developing feelings for Willow. And I said, "See, And I kind of hate the fact that, Willow's torn and she's feeling guilty, but see, and it's, but no, you keep coming. You keep doing it. I'm so happy. Drew's so-called political career is going to be out the door. Out the door. It's never going to get off the ground. Well, for one thing, we know General Hospital's not going to shoot DC and Port Charles. It's just not going to happen. Right? So, yeah, that thing ain't going to work. And Drew just going to be now coming back to Aurora, but Michael will be gone. Michael might burn that thing to the ground or take over ELQ and decimate Aurora. Michael's going to do some things. He is. And I'm happy that he's going to do something. So that's it, everybody. I can't do Comic Corner tonight. Now, I can't remember. Did I tell my Young and the Restless recap, folks, or did I tell you? I think I told you. I am going to Thailand tomorrow. My plane. I have to be at the airport. Late up, not even late afternoon. Yeah, about 2 o'clock in the afternoon. I have to be there by 2, so I got to leave my house by about 1. But I am going to have to catch my GH episodes with the folks bootlegging the show where I see a brick here, half an eye there, but I get the gist of what the show was about, and I'll be just doing my recaps on my cell phone, so I won't have my frame pictures. I won't have that. It'll just be me recapping what I've seen, you know, and uploading it to my YouTube channel. Uh, I'll see because I'm taking my notepad. I'm gonna see if I could see comment corner. If I can, I will read some of the comments. If it all is gonna work right. But being in Thailand, I don't know how everything is gonna work out. But I'm going to either way. Um, Upload YouTube because YouTube shows in Thailand. So I will be able to upload to YouTube. And everyone, look, let's still please do Comic Corner, even if it's, my smaller videos. Please talk to each other. Keep it going. And subscribe. If you have not subscribed, please subscribe to this YouTube channel. I will see you all in Thailand.